What's up YouTube? Welcome to lesson 2. So in this video we are going to look at the waves of the price. Higher highs, higher lows, lower lows and lower highs. So if we open up the Bitcoin chart, you can clearly see that there are always waves, and they're big, they're small, and every wave means something. But that's for the next video. But if you see the grand lines, you see all those waves. We're now looking at the daily, but on the lower time frame you have those waves as well. So now it's been very static, but maybe a bit higher. So you can clearly see that, yeah, you have small movements and big and small. So you can clearly see it on every time frame. But the thing we are going to find out is what higher highs and higher lows bring into the game. So if you look on the 4 hours, we're going to watch at this. First, let's say we start here and you have this first stop and then this. So this is a special price point to start from. But if we start here and this is the beginning, we have a high. I'm going to use H for a high, L for low. If you look here, we have a high, we have a low, and then we break it. So we first have a little bit of resistance, but then eventually we break it. So the new high will be around here. So let's put a high. And if you look some further, this is the new low for the moment. So let's put the L here. So if we can see here that we had a high, we had a low, and then we have a higher high. So if we have a higher high, we expect a higher low. But this is in theory, so yeah, most of the time it's right, but not always, for sure. So we have a higher low, so we expect a higher high, which we had eventually. Then we put here a higher high, and here let's put the L low here. Then we have low, so we have a higher low, so we expect a higher high. We got it. And then the cycle breaks. So you have here that we lost a low, so we have a lower low. So if you have a lower low, you expect a lower high. So let's put it here. And so we confirmed that there was a lower high. So then we go down and we expect a lower low, and it was really low, and we eventually came back here. So let's put the L here. You have a lower low, you expect a lower high. And this goes on for eternity. You can use this on the daily, on the 4 hours, on like everything. So if you do it on the 1 minute, it will not be this precise. And yeah, it's just theory, so it will not always work, but it's just raw theory. But this is like the real basics. And the next thing is we have a starting point, we have a high, we have a low, and we have a higher high. So the question now is where does the high usually stop, and where does the low usually stop? We have a high here, and the question now is where will this stop? Where will the low stop? Of course, no one can tell. Yeah, you cannot tell, but in the theory books you will find that usually it's the top and go on. And yeah, this will be like this. And you have a new high, you have low on the top. This is in theory, but it's not always like this. Barely ever like spot on the top. And the thing is, you have a aggressive entry and you have a safe entry. You have here starting points, you have a high, you have a low, and then you go on. So here basically it was on the top, like not specific, but yeah, you get the point. You have a new high and you have a new low, and this is here. So the thing I said about an aggressive and a defensive trade. Let's say you have this. Let's make a box. So from the high till like the low, you want to be above the low. So for theory, let's put it 1 cent above. You expect the price to be in between here. Yeah, this was front runs. If you would trade on this kind of system, so between here you would have wanted entry. So this would be from very aggressive to very defensive. The thing is, you need to decide for yourself what you think, the market is like for the moment. Is it very bullish? Then you should go for the top. Do you think it's almost at its top or something? You should look a little bit lower. So this is just very basic. So the thing is, you have defensive and you have a less defensive. So if we draw the highs and the lows around here, let's say this is the low, you have a high. This is starting point. You have a high, you have a high, a low. So basically, yeah, you get front runs around here. But if we go on, you have the low around here, you have a high, and the next low is around here. So if we zoom in, you have this, you get higher, and then you get lower. So if we look at this, let's draw a horizontal. This was the absolute low, and this was the high. So we expected that it would be around here, that the price would go to and jump back up again. And this was the low. So in between here, you should in between here, because this is the top. This was the low from here, and this is that low. All right. So in between here, you would take a long. So this goes from aggressive to non-aggressive, so defensive. This is in theory. You need experience. You need some other tips and tricks that I'll explain in the next lessons. But in theory, this is trading. I hope this was clear. And if you have questions, drop it in the comments. I'll try to answer them, maybe via DM or something. And yeah, nice trading, and see you later.